You can see we're already starting with the Meloetta. So let's go for Elesa Sparkle, and we also have the Power Tablet here. Let's go Cram-o-matic. There's the heads. For Meloetta Echo for 270 damage, turn 1. You are now watching Zach Lesage, the best place to learn about competitive Pokemon TCG. Let's get it! Yo, what's poppin' peeps? Welcome back to the channel. Zach Lesage here. We're going to be covering another Brilliant Stars deck today, and that deck is none other than what I believe is the best deck in format, Mew VMAX. So Mew VMAX has its Cross Fusion Strike attack. You can copy any of your Fusion Strike Pokemon in play. It's been absolutely dominating our Fusion Strike format, but how's it going to be doing in our Brilliant Stars format? Well, it did gain quite a few cards from Brilliant Stars, such as Ultra Ball, Choice Belt, maybe even Double Turbo Energy. So in this video, I'm going to be covering over my list. My list is available in the description, a copy into PTCG Live or PTCGO, and you can kind of see exactly what's going on there. We're going to cover exactly what the deck does, and I'm also going to be playing some gameplay. Not sure if we're going to get through 1 or 2 games, just going to see exactly what's going to be going on with the deck. I've covered Mew VMAX a few times, so this is going to be my most updated list. By all means, give this video a thumbs up to help boost the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're so close to 10,000 subscribers, and let me know in the comments what type of Brilliant Stars content you want to be seeing. So here we have it, the Mew VMAX list. So like I said, Mew VMAX is all about its Cross Fusion Strike attack. You choose one of your bench Fusion Strike Pokemon's attack, use it as this attack. So that means that you could copy things such as Technoblast doing 210 damage. Maybe if you have a few Fusion Strike energy in play, you can use Meloetta Echo for a lot of damage. You could even use Psychic Leap to get some damaged Mew VMAX into your deck. There's a lot of really cool things, and I mean, of course, if you don't necessarily meet the requirement of Max Miracle of having Psychic, and before anyone's like, we only play Psychic Energies, we added in the new Double Turbo Energy, which is double colorless energy. So for a single attachment, we can now have 1 energy to use Cross Fusion Strike. That means that you could also copy a Mew VMAX on the bench and use Max Miracle. So there's a lot of really cool things going on here. It's quite a bit of a turbo build with Battle VIP Pass. You're using it on your first turn. If you don't use them on their first turn, you could also use them as fodder for Cram-o-matic, flip a coin, search your deck for any kind of card. You have ways to increase your damage output with Power Tablet doing 30 more damage for each of the Power Tablets you play to your opponent's active Pokemon. And of course, we have Choice Belt to do an additional 30 damage to V, VMAX, VSTAR, V Union Pokemon. You want to bring up a Pokemon and knock out? Use Boss's Orders. You want to accelerate energy? You can use Elesa Sparkle. Fusion Strike energy stops your opponent from being able to do any abilities to those Pokemon, so your opponent's not going to be able to use Enteleon's Quick Shooting or anything else like that. We have an Oricorio here for Jolteon. I know Jolteon might not necessarily be as popular in the Brilliant Stars metagame, but this is also helpful against a bunch of single prize card decks. If you're looking for literally one of the best decks, if not the best deck in the Brilliant Stars format, whether it's for an upcoming Pokemon TCG Regionals, one of the Play Limitless events such as the Late Night series, or just something local playing online, whatever, Mew VMAX is the deck for you. By all means, you can copy and paste a list from the description, and if you're trying to pick up any codes to build this deck, you can always go to PTCGOstore.com, plug in code ZLesage5. That link's also in the description. Let's jump into some gameplay. So we lost the coin flip. Most decks want to go first, including Mew VMAX, but if we go second, we are able to go Meloetta Echo on the first turn as a possibility. You can see we're already starting with the Meloetta. We have a Battle VIP Pass to search things out, and with new cards such as Ultra Ball, we're able to kind of run through our deck with Genesect, so we'll have to see exactly what we're going to be able to do here, depending on what our opponent's playing. Looks like they are playing some kind of Rillaboom deck. I'm not entirely sure, but we should be okay. As long as we avoid Dark, Mew's good, and even if you hit Dark, Mew might be able to outpace in terms of damage output. So let's go ahead here. We will definitely draw an extra card, and you can see Elesa Sparkle turn 1. We might be able to knock out our opponent's lone Pokemon, the Delmise, if we are able to get another Fusion Strike energy. So there's another Elesa. Let's go through and kind of roll through our deck quickly. So let's go Battle VIP Pass. I know we want a Mew. I know we want a Genesect. If we had something like Fog Crystal, we could also search for those things. You can see here we have 3 Fusion Strike energies, but we could always fetch one out with one of our Cram-o-matics. So I think it might be a good idea to go for an early Elesa Sparkle. So we're going to grab these two because those are the cards that really make this deck work. I think we're in a pretty great spot. We're going to go ahead here. Ultra Ball. We can just kind of thin through our hand. You can see this deck. You can quickly go through whatever you want. We're going to go ahead, grab another Genesect. Most cases, you want to grab 3 Genesects because it has that Fusion Strike system that you're able to kind of draw through cards very quickly. We're also going to go ahead here and go Quick Ball again, grabbing another Genesect. So you can see we're trying to set up the foundation of getting set up, and cards like Ultra Ball allow you to just go ahead and do that. It's different than something like Evolution Incense, where you could only grab Evolution Pokemon, which I know some Mew VMAX decks might run. Ultra Ball does allow us early game to get those Fusion Strike systems on the go. So let's go for Elesa Sparkle, and we're going to power up these two Pokemon. There's a world where we don't use Elesa Sparkle because now we're decreasing our chance of drawing Fusion Strike energy, considering we only have one left in the deck. But if we get it, we get it. And we also have the Power Tablet here as well. We might even be able to get it with Power Tablet's Choice Belts. And I mean, this person's probably not necessarily happiest that they started with one Pokemon with their Grass Box deck. Might not be the most competitive deck, but if we just get a Fusion Strike energy, we literally win the game. Now, we want to go for like another Mew here. I think that sounds like a really good idea. We can pitch a lot of the cards in this hands. So let's go ahead, go for a full hand. Oricorio's not really going to help out in this matchup as far as my testing goes. I haven't tested too much of the grass matchup, but Mew's really good about playing against decks for the first time. We're going to switch there. We're also just going to put the Choice Belt. We already have the knock, or how much are we doing? If we're doing 140, I'm going to put the Choice Belt there, just in case we get a basic Psychic Energy and another Power Tablet. So we have different ways to maybe be able to get this. And we're going to scroll through here. We have Cram-o-matic. We might be able to just get it here with the Fusion Strike energy. So let's go Cram-o-matic. There's the heads. We are going to be able to take this game instantly, just like running through our opponent's deck before we even get a Mew VMAX out. You can see how just broken it is. We're going to give our opponent the well played, and we're going to go for Meloetta Echo for 270 damage turn 1, and we still could have used Fusion Strike system. Absolutely crazy. So we're going to start off this game by winning the coin flip, and Mew, I think most of the time, wants to go first. And we're going to start off here actually with a great hand. We have access to Mew, we have access to a Quick Ball, we have access to a Cram-o-matic. We should be able to play through most of the cards in our hand. We even have a Mew VMAX for the next turn. So as long as we avoid dark decks, we should be chilling. And again, even if we hit dark decks, we should be okay. So let's see what our opponent flips up here. I know that Mew is, a lot of people don't like Mew. It gets a bad rep. It does have a slow skill entry to be able to play this deck. But it is one of those things where after playing with Mew VMAX, there is a high skill ceiling to play this deck perfectly, sequencing with Fusion Strike system in order to draw the optimal amount of cards. So it looks like our opponent's just taking some time here to choose their active Pokemon. And I mean, that's completely fine. You never know what you're going to run into when you're playing this game. They're going to be playing the new Entei V deck, so a new popular card. I'm going to start off by going Cram-o-matic. We could always pitch something away, including Mew VMAX. If we get heads here on this Power Tablet, we might just be able to search our deck out for something like a Battle VIP Pass. So let's go ahead, do this. We got tails. That's fine. You're allowed to draw tails or roll tails. Let's put the Genesect down. Let's put this down. We can draw one card with our Genesect, pitching that card away and putting ourselves in a good spot. So let's go ahead, attach the energy here, go Genesect, Fusion Strike system. We're going to draw one card. If we don't draw a Genesect, you can see we can just pitch this Cram-o-matic away. We can now search our deck for a Genesect. Remember to check through your deck every single time you get a chance. You can see that we have a Psychic Energy prize, we have a Fusion Strike energy prize. So there's some important cards chilling in our prize cards. But we're going to go for Genesect here. We got to watch out because Genesect is weak to Entei. But let's go ahead here, attach or play that down, draw some more cards, and I think we're in a great spot overall. There's that Battle VIP Pass now. We got to watch out. Their Burning Rondo does 20 plus damage for each of our bench Pokemon. Could fall into like a little bit of a trap, but let's go ahead and go Mew V and Genesect. I think that sounds incredibly strong for us. We also could put Oricorio down to really help save us against things. I'm not sure if they play the Ludicolo or not, but let's just like throw that to the wind. We're gonna try to get set up. We're gonna hold Training Court because they probably play Magma Basin. So let's go ahead, use our Fusion Strike system, draw another 4 cards. You can see how we're able to get set up regardless of anything. We have double Power Tablets. So next, I'm just gonna retreat here into the Meloetta in case they are able to go switch Magma Basin, attach, whatever, and we should be able to go through everything and play out our hand next turn. So it's good to always pivot into a single prize card if you're ever unsure or if you know that something's gonna happen. So as long as our opponent doesn't go cross switcher, escape rope, we're chilling here. And I mean, we could always sacrifice something else and maybe outpace our opponent. We'll have to see what happens for them. They might have unplayable cards in their hand. I know that I've played against played with some Entei decks, and sometimes you draw into cross switcher, rare candy, maybe a Magma Basin that you might not want to put down. It's one of those things where our opponent here might be, they also might be DCing, but it's one of those things that if, okay, so they are playing cards down. So there's that Magma Basin, they're drawing a card. You can see they might not have the best hand. I found that Entei V is a little bit inconsistent in my testing. They might just not necessarily have anything, but you can see even if this game doesn't necessarily blossom into a full-fledged game, we might be able to see how it goes. We had an amazing setup getting our full bench with the Battle VIP Pass. We won the coin flip again, so we want to go first this game. That's totally cool. Hoping to avoid dark, and this is like, our hand's like okay, not really the greatest start, but we're going to start ahead with our single prize card Pokemon. If worse comes to worse, this Pokemon gets knocked out. It's one prize card, so we're not offering up too much. So we're playing against Zigzagoon. This might just be a Jolteon deck? We'll have to see. So when it comes down to a weird hand like this, I'm always going to go Cram-o-matic. I'm going to pitch away this, see if we can get Battle VIP Pass. Not really the greatest start, but we could always attach here. And if our opponent gets nothing, we're still in an okay spot. We could go ahead and go Meloetta Echo, attack. It's not a great start for us, but Mew has ways to kind of deal with those poor starts, right? So if our opponent is playing something like Jolteon and doesn't get a basic Pokemon, you can see with the Elemental Badge they dropped, they have double Elemental Badge. They might be struggling here completely, and they might not be able to do anything here. We could probably just attack with Meloetta Echo, and they might not have a Jolteon to go down. So let's go ahead here. We have Elesa Sparkles. You can see that we could even be able to do more damage against our opponent's deck. So let's go ahead here. Let's go Elesa Sparkle. Let's build up these. We're going to get those other energies in play. We can even attach an energy to our Genesect, so we could play the deck a little bit differently. And turn 2, even though we have a terrible start, no Mew, we're under path to the peak lock. We are able to kind of survive in games, and I don't think I'm going to win this game, but I have an opportunity to. And that Battle VIP Pass, obviously a little bit too late, it's not my first turn, but our opponent seems to be struggling a little bit, and we are able to knock out their Meloetta. I'm a boss's orders away from bringing up a Jolteon. You can see they're already down double Jolteon VMAX, double Elemental Badge. How many cards can they potentially miss before they just lose the game? And that's really the big question here. Like, if I'm able to just top deck a way to get around this, or maybe I'm able to top deck a boss's order, I could just take that Jolteon V out of the game. And there's their Fan of Waves. I mean, that's fine. Maybe we won't top deck a boss's orders or something like that, but we have an opportunity to draw more prize cards. I'm not sure where our opponent's going to take the energy away from. They should definitely take it away from the Meloetta, in my opinion. But I'm not the one who's piloting the deck. It is what it is. So even if you are in a rough situation or playing at a regionals, Mew gives you opportunities that other decks don't. What other deck dead draws and draws a prize card on the first turn of the game, putting your opponent on a clock? We're one Mew V top deck away, or we're one Stadium top deck, or maybe a Cram-o-matic heads away from just absolutely jumping back into this game, not really having that bad of a start. And we even have techs like Oricorio for this matchup. So you can see like Power Tablet, not going to do anything. But our opponent might not be able to knock us out because they've already lost 2 Elemental Badge. Who's to say that the third one isn't prize, or they don't have an energy, or they don't really have much going on with their hands. So we're going to go Meloetta Echo. Again, it sucks. It's not going great. But we do have opportunities, and we are drawing prize cards. There's a Cram-o-matic. We might have an opportunity to jump back into the game. Depending on what our opponent does this turn, I mean, they could miss. They might have to go for Pin Missile. They might not even have the Jolteon VMAX. They're down a lot of important resources. And that's really the big thing to look, is just like, when you're playing a deck like Mew, it's not always going to be pretty. I'm going to show you how to play these games, or how to best play these games. Because you're going to be in this situation, even though that I'm Zach Lesage, some people might look up to me as a player, or not. I'm not really worried about that. But some people might think that I just win games because I'm me. I'm going to get dealt hands like this, like everyone else, PTCGO hands, or just garbage hands, or whatever. So our opponent, yeah, they're going to be able to attack us. That's cool, whatever. We're in a really tough spot, but we have opportunities here. And even though we're losing this game, if our opponent maybe missed for one turn, or maybe had a slightly worse start than us, we could win games like this. So let's see what we could even start. Like, maybe we'll see if we get something with Cram-o-matic. Maybe we won't. We'll have to see how that plays out. So let's go. Cram-o-matic goes here. We're going to take away the Battle VIP Pass. And of course, we're going to, like, get nothing. So I'm going to concede this game to our opponent. But you can see that we were able to kind of, like, go through. Maybe you only had a couple prize cards that you need to draw. Or maybe you had, like, there's opportunities when it comes to Mew. Alright, we're going to call the coin flip. We lost the coin flip. That's completely fine. let's go fingers crossed for a playable hand. And I mean, Mew is probably the most consistent deck available. You can see having access to Ultra Ball, Battle VIP Pass, as long as we go get turn 1 Path to the Peak, and even that we have an out for, we have ways to draw cards. So we're going to be playing against Mew VMAX Mirror, and there's an opportunity that our opponent just goes Mew V, pass, or does not put down another Pokemon, or we do take a prize card, or there's a lot of ors and things that we can do. I think we're in a really great spot here. If you are playing against Mew, a solid strategy is to put down double Meloetta. The reason why I think double Meloetta is cool is so that your opponent, if they have escape rope, they can't escape rope around it. You also want to retreat into Meloetta at the end of your turn so that you have opportunities to only offer up 1 prize card instead of 2 prize cards. Now, we are a little bit behind, so if we don't knock out a 2 prize card Pokemon this turn, we are going to be struggling a little bit. But depending on what our opponent's start is, which, I mean, looks amazing so far better than what we could offer with our hands, we might be in an okay spot. We'll have to see what's going on here. There's their energy. Definitely should be using their Genesect to draw some cards. They should retreat into this Meloetta. Oh, okay, there's their Meloetta. They know exactly what they're doing, but they should have maybe opened up another spot, because if we get escape rope, we have opportunities to knock out their Pokemon. So let's go ahead here, go Battle VIP Pass. You always want to go through your deck with the freest search first, and we want to go Meloetta because we want to definitely have access to attacking with Meloetta, and we want to have Genesect so that we could start drawing some cards. I think that sounds like a really good plan for us. So let's go Meloetta, let's go Genesect. We can go ahead here and go for, we could probably waste Power Tablet if we want, because our hand, we need to clear through our hand ASAP. Now, I might just go ahead and waste a Power Tablet. So I'm trying to think of the best way for us to deal with this if we do not get the everything with Elesa Sparkle or anything else like that. Do we want to, I know we want to pitch away Boss because we want to play Elesa Sparkles this turn. We could probably pitch away the other Power Tablet, but it's also just so nice. Let's just go Ultra Ball like this, and we're going to pitch away this and this. So I'm going to go off a little bit conservatively, and there's a lot of ways that you could play at this hand. I'm going to go for the way that I like. Let's go through and search through, make sure. So we have triple Fusion Strike Energy. So I'm glad that we have the double Power Tablets. We have 1 escape rope, so we're really trying to hold on to that Cram-o-matic to get escape rope so we can start knocking out their Pokemon turn 1. So let's go ahead, drop the Genesect. We're going to drop Power Tablet 1, Power Tablet 2, and we're trying to get Elesa Sparkle, Energy, and an escape rope. That's really what we're searching for. So always have a plan of what you're looking for so you understand the key cards. So right now we have an energy. I mean, that sounds really good for us. Let's go Cram-o-matic. We probably don't need this Power Tablets. So Cram-o-matic, fail. That's tough. Let's go ahead. Fog Crystal, search our deck. We can grab a Psychic Energy out of our deck. So let's go ahead, attach a Psychic Energy here. And let's go ahead and go for Fusion Strike System so we can maybe draw in some more cards. We have another one of these. Let's thin our hand down as much as possible. The Training Court, not necessarily important right now, but this is how you'd play out of these hands. So we do have the Elesa Sparkle. We can get a knockout on this active Meloetta turn 1 and power up our Mew. I think we're in a little bit of a pickle if our opponent just goes Boss's Orders on our Mew, but we're still going to be able to take a prize card on our first turn, kind of showing the aggressiveness of this deck. If you're playing against anything that was not Mew, I think we're absolutely chilling. But this is, sometimes you're going to draw into hands like this when you're playing Mew. It's the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'm going to just show you what I can do on turn 1, but we're going to be able to go turn 1, 200 damage. Don't really like how we wasted our Power Tablets, but sometimes you're just going to draw into them. Now, our opponent, we're hoping that they just knock out our Meloetta. I think that's the best case scenario for us, but we'll have to see how that plays out for us overall. Like, they might not necessarily have Boss's Orders. They might not necessarily have escape rope. They might not necessarily have all these things. Now, the Power Tablets are very difficult for us to deal with because we're already down 3 of our Power Tablets. We only have access to a Power Tablet and Choice Belts, so we can only do plus 60. And they're going to knock out our Mew V, which does make things quite difficult for us in just the grand scheme of things. So we could play out this entire game. I really want to get a good game with Mew V, but this shows you how vicious the match can be on both sides. So we're going to go ahead and concede this game and jump into another one. So after playing these games with Mew, you can see how quickly games can turn on either side if you're playing Mew. And if you're in the driver's seat with Mew, you could do a lot of cool things on your first turn. Even though we're starting suboptimally with Genesect V, our opponent's not knocking us out on our first turn. We have ways to search out other Pokemon, and of course we have ways to make things happen with Cram-o-matic. It looks like our opponent might be playing an Ice Rider deck, so we might want to use Cram-o-matic to search for a path or a way to get around Path to the Peak if they do play up to 4 copies in their deck. So another cool thing that I want to let people know is don't ever bench another Pokemon down. Our opponent's gaining no advantage. They could always play it down on their first turn after deciding what their top deck is. So they're playing some kind of Arceus, maybe Ice Rider deck. We might be able to even just go Escape Rope and knock out one of these Ice Riders ASAP, or just knock out a Sobble on their bench, maybe just drawing some prize cards. So yeah, it looks like it's Ice Rider Arceus, which is one of the more popular decks in this format. So we want to find a way to get out of the active spot. That's probably first and foremost. I think our goal here is to go ahead and Cram-o-matic away an Escape Rope. And that's going to be able to get us a Battle VIP Pass. Cram-o-matic, I know a lot of people don't necessarily like it because it is a little bit of a luck-based card. You want to check through your prize cards quickly, but it's not too bad. So let's go ahead, Battle VIP Pass, go for Meloetta, and let's go for a Mew, because those are 2 very important cards for the sake of this matchup. Let's go ahead, before we attach any energy, let's not give up our opponent any information. Let's go Escape Rope and see what they decide to send up. I'm not sure if I'm going to attach that energy or not yet. We'll have to see what our opponent's doing here first. So now I have no problem attaching. Our opponent could hit us for 200 damage next turn, which is the reason why I'm probably going to attach the energy to Meloetta. We're in search of an Elesa Sparkle. Again, always trying to have a plan. Let's go ahead, Quick Ball away this Ultra Ball. I think that sounds like a really good idea. Grabbing another Genesect. We want to be able to draw things. Set up a foundation of your deck. Drawing cards is a good thing. We're going to go ahead, put the Choice Belt on the Mew so that we can save it for later. Attach an energy to our Meloetta. And let's go ahead and go Fusion Strike system. Again, Elesa Sparkle is going to be where it's at. We don't see Elesa Sparkles, but we do see access to a Cram-o-matic. That's not too bad. We could always go Cram-o-matic. Maybe we'll get 2 for 2 on heads. No, not necessarily that lucky. We're going to be able to draw 4 cards here. So we could have done Quick Ball to maybe draw a few more cards, then use that Cram-o-matic. That's totally an option. But we did end up getting the Elesa Sparkles anyways. So we're just awesome at Pokemon. I guess that's how it's going to work out. We're going to go Elesa Sparkles, powering up these 2 Pokemon. And you can see there's our Fusion Strike energies. So turn 1, we're hitting for 140 damage against our opponent. We have a single prize card Pokemon in the active spot. We have double Mew down. Even if they knock out this Mew, we have a double Turbo Energy to attack into this Pokemon. So let's go ahead, retreat into Meloetta. And we are now going to go for Meloetta Echo. We don't want to waste, we'll use that next turn. It could be fodder for Cram-o-matic. A good practice to always hold on to an item card when you're playing this deck. So let's go Meloetta Echo, knockouts. And like the cool thing that I like about most of these games is that I was able to go for quick attacks. Drawing a prize card on the first turn, even with a suboptimal hand. So this game looks like the most reminiscent of what an actual Mew game looks like. But I do want to let people know that not every single game is going to look the same. And our opponent might just have nothing. They might just be able to go for Trinity Charge this turn. I mean, there's Trinity Charge. You can see that we're already in a great spot. We're going to attach another Fusion Strike energy. We can hit this Pokemon now for 210 damage. We're a Choice Belt away from getting a knockout. Or we could also just retreat and go Techno Blast. We have a lot of really good things that we could do here. So let's go ahead, attach here. Let's evolve so that we're kind of safe. We can always go Boss's Orders, bring this up, or just knock out our opponent's Sobble. They don't necessarily have anything, but they're just going to concede before anything happens. They know that they're going to get knocked out. So those games might not have necessarily been the longest games, but that's how quick Mew can act in the Brilliant Stars metagame. With cards in the deck such as Meloetta, Meloetta can absolutely just destroy your opponent with Meloetta's Echo before a game begins, and players are just kind of triggered and they're trying to concede the game quickly to jump into another one. I know I've been there myself, and it's definitely one of those things where I want, like, Mew games are going to be quick, Mew games are going to be efficient, and if you just get on a good few hands here or there, if you're newer to the game, you could definitely capitalize upon that. Fuller games, Mew can even be better by powering up more Fusion Strike energies and attacking even with more Meloetta's Echo damage by copying it with Cross Fusion Strike or attacking with Meloetta itself. The more that a deck draws cards throughout a game and attaches energy and increases its damage output, of course it's going to see more success, right? So the list is in the description. You can copy and paste that right into Pokemon TCGO or PTCG Live if you're part of the Canadian beta. And you can always use code ZLASAGE5 to save 5% at PTCGO store. It does help me as a content creator. I get a little bit of a splashback with that. So if you want to help support my content, pick up some codes to build this deck online. You could also go to metafy.gg/@ZachLasage. The link is in the description along with all of those to get some coaching from me if you are trying to prepare for an upcoming regionals like Salt Lake City regionals, Vancouver regionals, preparing for a late night series, you're a new player playing into the game. You maybe want to play online, become a better player. I can help you out with all of those. I'm calm, I'm patient. Everything's really cool there. So check out that link as well. That being said, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch up with everyone later. You can always let me know in the comments. I do get back to every single comment what type of content you want to be able to see, but for me this is probably the best deck in format. I'll catch up with all y'all later. Peace out and have a great day. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And my goal with this channel is to spread my love of the game and knowledge with our entire Pokemon TCG community. If you haven't already, help signal boost this video to other Pokemon TCG fans by liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully we reach our goals really soon. Check out this recommended video, and have yourself a great day. Thanks.